Across different civilizations and eras, certain symbols appear again and again, not always in the same form, but often carrying similar meaning. Their presence weaves through ancient texts, oral traditions, and the very fabric of historical artifacts. What makes these particular emblems so persistent? Why do they surface in disparate cultures, separated by vast oceans and centuries of time? This recurrence is not a mere coincidence to some observers. It's a pattern that invites deep inquiry. It hints at a shared human experience, a collective search for meaning that transcends the boundaries of any single culture or belief system. These are not just simple drawings or motifs. They are vessels of complex ideas, carrying echoes of ancient wisdom into our modern world. These recurring symbols can be found in biblical texts, ancient traditions, and historical records. Their repetition has invited reflection for centuries. Consider the Great Flood narratives found across Mesopotamia, in the story of Noah, and even in the mythologies of cultures far from the ancient Near East. Or think of the world tree, a colossal tree connecting the heavens, the earthly world and the underworld, a concept found in Norse, Siberian, and various Native American traditions. While the details and names may change, the core structure of the symbol often remains strikingly similar. Historical records suggest that as cultures interacted through trade, migration, and conquest, these powerful symbolic ideas were shared and adapted. The Bible, as a foundational text for many, is deeply embedded in this rich tapestry of ancient symbolism, both inheriting and reshaping meanings that had circulated for millennia. For many, studying these connections doesn't diminish faith, but rather deepens the understanding of its historical and cultural context, showing how universal human questions have been explored through a common symbolic language. Symbols often communicate ideas beyond words. They allow meaning to travel across cultures, languages, and generations. A simple shape can convey concepts like infinity, divinity, or the cycle of life and death without needing translation. This is the unique power of a symbol. It operates on an intuitive level, speaking directly to our consciousness. Think of how a circle can represent unity, eternity, or wholeness, or how a mountain can symbolize a challenge, a spiritual ascent, or a connection point between the earthly and the divine. These interpretations are not always rigid. They can be fluid and layered with multiple meanings. This is why symbols are such effective tools for transmitting sacred knowledge. They are dense with information, capable of being unpacked and reinterpreted by each new generation. While written and spoken languages change over time, the fundamental visual language of symbolism has shown a remarkable ability to endure, carrying its core messages across the vast expanse of human history. Throughout history, societies used symbols to preserve knowledge, beliefs, and values. Biblical symbolism developed within this broader historical landscape. Before widespread literacy, symbols were a primary method for recording history, codifying laws, and transmitting religious teachings. The carvings on ancient temples, the patterns on pottery, and the regalia of kings were all part of a sophisticated visual language understood by the people of that time. The symbolism found within biblical texts is no exception. It emerged from a world saturated with meaning, where every natural element, from a grain of mustard seed to a mighty cedar of Lebanon, could be imbued with divine significance. The writers of these texts drew from a shared well of cultural symbols: lions representing royalty and power, doves symbolizing peace and divine presence, and water representing both purification and chaos. Understanding this context helps us appreciate the depth and richness of these ancient writings, recognizing them as part of a larger human conversation that was taking place through the universal medium of symbols. Some scholars observe patterns in how these symbols appear. Others caution that interpretation depends on context and perspective. The study of comparative mythology and religion reveals fascinating parallels. For instance, the serpent or dragon figure appears in countless traditions. In some, it is a creature of chaos and evil. In others, it represents wisdom, healing, and immortality. The Bible itself contains both depictions, from the serpent in Eden to the bronze serpent raised by Moses for healing. This is where context becomes critical. A symbol's meaning is not inherent in the image itself, but is assigned by the culture that uses it. Therefore, simply noting a similarity is not enough. Researchers must ask what a symbol meant to the specific people in that specific time and place. This careful, context-sensitive approach prevents us from making overly simplistic connections and allows for a more nuanced understanding of how a single Symbolic form can carry a wide spectrum of meanings, reflecting the diverse experiences and beliefs of humanity. Perhaps symbols endure because they invite reflection rather than fixed answers, allowing meaning to evolve over time. Unlike a direct statement, which provides a clear and finite piece of information, a symbol is open-ended. It acts as a catalyst for thought and contemplation. Each person who encounters it can bring their own experiences, knowledge, and intuition to the process of interpretation. This is what gives symbols their living quality. The meaning of the cross, for example, has deepened and expanded over 2 millennia, accumulating layers of theological, personal, and cultural significance that a simple historical account could never fully capture. An ancient symbol is like a deep well. The water it holds is ancient, yet each person who draws from it does so in their own time and for their own needs. This interactive quality may be the key to their longevity, ensuring they remain relevant and powerful as human consciousness itself evolves. When a symbol continues to appear across centuries, it may reflect a shared human desire to understand something greater. The persistence of motifs like the sacred mountain, the cosmic serpent, or the divine child suggests that they speak to fundamental aspects of the human condition. These are not just random, decorative elements. They are attempts to map the unseen world, to give form to our deepest questions about our origins, our purpose, and our destiny. They represent a collective effort to make sense of a universe that is often mysterious and overwhelming. The fact that different cultures, without direct contact, sometimes arrived at similar symbolic representations for these profound ideas is a source of endless fascination. It suggests that there may be an underlying structure to human consciousness, an archetypal grammar that shapes our myths, our dreams, and our most sacred stories, pointing toward a unity that lies beneath our apparent diversity. If these patterns resonate with you, consider subscribing to continue exploring their meaning. Our journey into the world of ancient symbols is just beginning. In future explorations, we will delve deeper into specific symbols, tracing their paths through history and across cultures, and examining the various interpretations they have inspired. By joining this channel, you become part of a community of curious minds dedicated to understanding the powerful language that connects us to our shared human heritage. There is so much more to uncover, and we invite you to be a part of that discovery. What do you think these symbols keep popping up for?